let me know when you have it up and running.
Well, it's always up and running.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
And in that case, welcome back, everybody, to the next session of Here Be Dragons. And who is going to be giving our recap this week?
Griffith, do you want to?
I got it.
All right.
So, he returned Vale to his mother. Learned that he had tried scrying on us and her son, but was unable to due to the necklaces that we found. He offers us thanks and asks us if we would mind looking out for her son, because they seem to have a similar disposition in terms of weird shit that surrounds us. Even offers her ear in any way she can for the service. Lessla finally gets Pearl. Corvus inquires about why he should just whisk her son away back to safety. She mentioned that there was more use in doing what she did for him than there was in just helping him. Lessla finally identifies 2 items: the necklace, which fails, and the dagger we've had since like session 3.
Actually, it was more like session 1 or 2.
Oh yeah, session 2. It was like session 2.
Mm-hmm.
Corvus did some meditation. Talked to another one of his past incarnations. Mel joined us, a little awkward. So most of the group went to go register him at the Adventures Guild, while Lessla went to her room with Cindrus and Lara. Introduced Lara to Dion, who subsequently Lara passed out, and Lessla and Cindrus just had a little talk. Corvus tried to see if there was any cool items at his little place he found. There was not. Eve, Vale, and Sapphire had a little drink. Corvus eventually joined them, and just as we left off,
Question of the century happened.
he asked Vale asked what his mother said about the little dragon.
It's like one of the episodes of an anime where it's like, what did my mom say about the dragon?
Previously. I should make that.
That made me sad
joke,
now.
Yeah, I should. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I did that joke.
Yeah.
Oopsie doodle.
Anyways.
Too soon.
All right. So, getting back into it, you now know that Vale absolutely knows about the dragon.
I mean,
we
we assumed that.
Without saying, we were literally talking about it in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Quite plainly. We
think,
were
yeah.
in the street.
I think I may. He says that, and Corvus just takes a drink, like a sip of his, a log sip of his drink, and just goes, "You didn't say anything, because we didn't tell us."
That is true.
He stares at you blankly for a good solid minute.
I just imagine the thought going through his head is like, that doesn't mean he doesn't know.
And after that, he just takes his hands, clasps them together, slowly brings them to his head. Oh, mister, help me keep the secret.
That's when
Just
I
gonna
was
pat
going
him
to
on the
say.
shoulder. It's like, there.
If it helps, if you tell anyone, it could put its target on all of our backs and potentially get us killed.
He nods and kind of puts his hand like, I am well aware of that. You get the feeling that is not what he is worried about.
I feel like he's more worried about his mom finding out.
Yeah, you suddenly realized once again that this is the son of the apprentice of the most powerful mage in all of the Forgotten Realms. Period.
Oh yeah.
Okay, no, I understand that.
So,
Well, let's hope she respects his privacy.
His shoulder, or his shoulder, just like, yep.
If your mother knew, what do you think she would do with that information?
And of course, it goes without saying that we're all whispering.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for hushed tones, yeah.
Probably specifically whenever the bartender is well away from you, which has been for a good while now.
Still, rather be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how many people are out there with Cheese's godlike perception.
Yeah. A cloaked man stands up. No, I'm kidding.
I told you I saw a
you
dragon!
say
I told you that was crazy!
I imagine it's just like a prospector looking guy.
No, it's fucking oh god, what's his name from Atlantis? Is it Mulch?
Cookie?
Is it really?
Are you talking about Cookie?
Cookie's the one that's insane, or are you talking about Mole?
Mole. I'm talking about Mole.
Okay.
To be fair, either one would work, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think she could be the greatest help in hiding it that we could possibly have.
Well, I think Lesla's trying to ask her mentor about this. So,
I also have a plan.
Fortunately, this is a difficult thing, and we have to be careful. I understand you trust your mother, but we don't.
He doesn't seem happy about that, but he does seem to understand.
I'm sure in time we probably will. We just need more than one interaction with her. Or two.
And hopefully next time she isn't using us.
Agreed. Because for all intents and purposes, your mother did in fact use us.
I am aware.
It's not your fault, don't worry.
My mother is a complicated woman.
That's one way of putting it.
You get the feeling this is maybe not the first time he's had this conversation.
Yeah.
We've all had to apologize for our mothers before. It's perfectly fine.
Perfectly normal.
Real.
Sure.
Again, Sapphire will give him a gentle pat on the shoulder, like, there, I get it.
But mention this, I mean, as previously stated, mentioning this to anybody else would put a massive target on all of our backs, and it would get my ire on you, and that would not be a good idea.
He nods. He doesn't seem to it seems like the only thing that's bothering him is he's not trying to hide much of anything from you right now.
Yeah.
And Cheese alone has a passive that will beat his just base deception if he's not trying. To say nothing of anybody else. No, it seems like his main concern right now is just he has to lie to his mother. And he's not sure if that's something he's
Capable of.
Yeah, not because of his personality, because of who she is.
Yeah. not asking him to lie. I was just asking him not to say anything.
It's not. It's to say nothing of his abilities or
It's
moral
like-
convictions. To say everything of the fact that he's not sure it's possible to lie to the woman.
So, son, did you see a dragon today? Fuck. It's like, there's that question gonna come up.
It's like, I don't know why you're asking that.
It's a weird question to ask.
Odd question,
Oh,
mother.
it's like that. Oh, Marin, it's like the fucking meme that's going around on TikTok.
Oh, I am not Batman. I'm Batman.
What a weird. No, what a weird thing to say.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
That totally
Alright.
came out of nowhere.
However, while you're all having this conversation, gonna cut back over to to Lessla for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lessla, Lara is finally starting to come around. It's been maybe about 10 minutes or so.
Lessla has just been silently contemplating whether or not to try tuning to the necklace.
Mm-hmm. She sort of slowly wakes up, rubbing her head.
The
You
moment,
can see her sit up.
the moment that Lessla sees her coming to, she will put the necklace back where she had been keeping it for the time being, and just leans forward and says, "Are you capable of communing without fainting?"
I think so. Oh, right. And she just takes her hands, like covers her face, massaging her temples, and just rubs them back up to her horns. Just sits like that for a second. This is simultaneously every part's worst dream and greatest nightmare.
Lessla hears that, turns her head a little, doesn't question it, and then says, "Well, it seems prudent to let you know, considering that you and Zafea share a room."
This is possibly the greatest story anyone can ever tell, and if anyone ever knew about it, I would probably die.
Well, yes. But you can chronicle it. Just make sure you keep whatever you're chronicling in a place where a raccoon can't steal it.
That's really not. That's very much not helpful.
Well,
Oh, gods.
if it makes you feel any better, I'm still recovering from the shock of this as well, and I've known about this for a whole 24 hours at this point.
You can see her just very rapidly, what's the word? Bouncing her leg up and down. You can hear heel tapping on the wood. You get the feeling that is not helping.
Laura,
She pulls out her book on how to comfort people for dummies.
no, you laugh, but the thing is those types of things are. She's not used to doing it. She does know the theory of it. Lessla just puts her hands together.
Oh
and
yes,
says,
the theory of human interaction.
Anyway, she puts her hands together and says, "Laura, I'm going to need you to focus for a moment. There was other reasons than you just sharing a room with Zarfea that we needed to tell you. This Dion Bjorn, is going to require someone to watch her when we go out on adventures. And she looks to Zarfea and says, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, but do you trust Zarfea to watch over a wormling?
Oh, gods.
In addition, something else we need to bring you up to speed on is we have a new member to our party who also knows about the dragon, I assume, unless he is completely deaf or otherwise dim-witted, which I don't believe he is, considering who his mother is.
I probably don't want to know that, do I?
You probably don't, but you're going to learn anyway. His name is Vale, and I personally can't remember if he uses the same last name as his mother.
You've never been told it, so...
Yeah, so that's probably why I don't. And his mother happens to be the apprentice of Elminster and the daughter of a lich.
Silence, blank stare into the middle distance.
Oh, and she also hired us to rescue her son. Which is how we got into this mess in the first place. Lessla thinks about anything else she needs to share. In addition, we did liberate 2 drow from the Underdark, but that's neither here nor there. That probably won't come up again. And at this point, Lessla kind of once again drops the usual mask she's wearing, and the frustration comes out of her for a moment before she recomposes herself. In addition to all of that, we are in somewhat of a precarious situation, because there's a possibility that we left a tablet of ancient magic in Undermountain, and if we didn't, then someone is walking around with it in their backpack. Granted, it's stable, but... Lessla just stops talking and is rubbing her temples. I'm starting to ramble again. None of it really matters. Do you have any questions?
I think that's all I have right now.
Well,
But I don't know if I want answers to them.
Which point Lessla will say, well, if you don't get the answers, you're going to learn about it probably the hard way, so you might as well ask.
I'll get back to you when I can actually put them into words.
Well, I'm open to advice about what our next course of action should be, but I think it's pretty much stay in this room until we figure out what our next course of action is. I should probably reconvene with the others and figure out when we're doing our next quest. Because this one didn't. While we did get a fair amount of money from selling the stalking catfish. Stalker catfish? I can't remember. The reward for this quest was a scroll crafted by Elminster that Corvus now has. And I'm sure he doesn't fully understand what he has his hands on, because I was not able to identify the scroll. Yes, let's keep everything magically away from the wizard.
She's still just like bouncing her knee, heel clacking, and you can now see her like just rapidly tapping the tips of her fingers together.
Laura, please, out with it. You containing all of this internal energy is going to make you explode. Probably.
That's why I'm trying to burn it off. If I ask any more questions, I probably will.
Well, yeah.
And I thought final exam day was stressful.
It's only downhill from there.
At the very least, for a final exam, you can prepare for this. This is real life. We don't get any preparation. We just have to deal with it.
You're not helpful.
I'm not trying to be.
I know.
Look, at the end of the day, for the time being, the plans that we have put in motion have not changed. The only thing we have to do is account for someone needs to be watching the dragon at all times. And as much as I would trust Clouth to do it, I look at Clouth, who is getting noticeably fatter over the course of the last few months. I don't think he can keep up with her anymore.
Exercises.
Yeah, he flies around at everyone.
He glares at you.
He gets up to go say something, just falls down, just breathing. Just give me a second. Catch my breath.
You don't get to glare at me, Clouth. You're the one that's been eating more than 5 rats a day.
The message you get back from can roughly be translated to, for the record, it's 3, and I only eat 2 of them.
And I would also try and trust my familiar, and she looks at the crow that's been perching on her staff this entire time. But that
It looks over at you.
But he has been less reliable than, well, Sindris's ability, or Zarfe's ability to actually perceive things. I know which is why once again why she looks at Zarfea in kind of a apologetic like manner of like, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just that I have to compare these things, and it has to be something that Laura can relate to.
Zarfea doesn't seem to mind, as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. In addition to that, oh, I never introduced you to the Raven. This Raven I summoned as a Fae, where the Feywild was much the barrier between the material plane and the Feywild was much thinner, and now he can speak Sylvan, and is also sometimes a pain.
The raven begins cleaning under his wing.
You're not fooling anyone. And then she
Well,
what?
how? Cocks its head at you, not entirely unsure of what you're getting at.
Anyway. So that is all of the current situation. In addition to all of that, as we saved and I can't remember the name of the thing, but it's a half devil, half fey creature from a chain golem.
That's the most normal thing you've said since you got here.
Yes. I also rescued a child in that endeavor, although that was mostly secondary to me. Oh God. I'm running out of things to distract myself with. If you happen to know the encode thoughts cantrip, I can basically give it to you in a on a point by point basis.
I don't think I want it beamed directly into my mind.
Well, I was going to say I could show you the memories directly.
I don't think that would help.
Yeah, probably. And now I sit here wondering. Is there anything you would like to talk about?
How do I follow up with any of that?
I don't know, maybe talk about your last performance?
Because that... Oh.
Look, I'll be honest, when I started adventuring, I didn't expect any of this could possibly happen. In fact, this was as far out of left field as, well, yeah. I don't have anything for this one. It's like playing goat ball over lava. And for those of you who are...
I just need to collect my thoughts.
Well, I suppose we should... And Lessla will look to the crow and says, go find the others. Let them know that Laura has been brought up to speed. Mention nothing of the dragon.
The crow does its best to I guess I'm trying to think of what the word is for this.
Loot.
Not salute. I guess stand at attention.
Mm.
No.
Just a little hop.
Yeah, pretty much. Gives a singular nod and flies out the window, or at least it would if the window were open. Instead, it smacks into the glass.
Oh, God.
Nice.
I'll mage hand the window open. It says it's open now.
Once again, hops up, tries to stand at attention, nods, and flies out the window for real.
At which point, Lessla then thinks about it and says, "Oh, it's gonna crash into a window wherever they are, isn't it?"
This is a lesson you hope it has learned.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Hey,
Well, there's
Corvus
only
is
one way to
smart.
find
It
out.
might figure it out.
Hey, we might be leaving by the time it, almost crashes into a window. Instead, it'll crash into one of us.
I mean, it's only got, what, an entire city to look for us?
That's true.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, it was aware that you guys were going to the Adventurers Guild at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Flies right into the window of the Adventurers Guild.
We're gone before it gets there. Now it's just like, well, shit.
If I tell
Anyways.
Lessla I did it, she won't have a choice but to believe me.
Lessla, shortly after the Raven leaves, there's actually a knock on your door.
Mm-hmm. Lessla will look to Diorn and gesture for her to get into the backpack again.
She is still napping.
Oh God. Lessla will gently put her into the backpack and then close it.
Okay.
Before going to the door.
You open it, and standing there's a young boy. He looks to be in maybe his early teens. So even younger than you, and probably Nemo as well.
I mean, roughly speaking, I think Nemo's actually only maybe a year or two younger.
Yeah.
If that.
This kid looks like he's maybe 12, 13.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I was saying, in fact, it's extremely possible because Nemo's only her half brother that they're within a year of each other. But we have never decided that. So, little boy, what's he? Lessla will just raise an eyebrow.
Pardon me, would you be the Mithril Scales?
Yes, I am Lessla Silverster of the Mithril Scales.
Message for you, ma'am. And he holds out a little, it is a letter, but it's clear there's something a little bit more than paper inside of it. It has a, simple blank wax seal on it.
Okay. Lessla will take it. She will give the boy a silver.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's more money than that kid's ever seen in his entire life.
I mean, it's enough for him to eat for a week, so.
Yeah.
Well, eat and boarding for a couple of days.
I don't even know if you can hear me from over here. I had to grab a new pen.
God bless you, ma'am. And he heads off. Very, very clearly very happy.
Mm-hmm. Always tip your messengers.
Yep.
But as he leaves, Lessla will close the door, lock it, and pull the letter. She'll actually pull her regular dagger out and cut the letter open. So that she can read it.
So, upon opening it, there is two things. There is a simple note, and it is written in Elven, as well as a small, perfectly smooth gemstone. It looks like it looks like just a simple crystal, nothing valuable or anything like that. All
right, well, I'm going to detect magic that later. but I will read what the note says in Elvish.
So you open it up and begin to read it. It's written in a very fine penmanship. You can, you know, like noble writing, or someone they've hired to write this for them, rather. You've seen it before, and that's very clearly what this is.
All right.
And it reads, "My most esteemed guests of Waterdeep. It is a privilege to know that one such as you currently reside within this city, be you resident or not. I have no end of appreciation for what you have already done for this city. At your earliest convenience, please convene." And as I flip the page, I should have written it all on one page.
Yeah. It continues on the back.
Yeah. At your earliest convenience, please convene, and I will address you through the stone I have provided. My sincerest thanks. And there is a wizard seal that you do not. Well, actually, you can roll a check. See if you recognize the wizard seal.
History or
Swear
Arcana.
to God, if it's Blackstaff.
You would have just said he has a seal.
You know it is not Blackstaff.
Yeah.
You've seen
Okay.
his in person.
He has a specific seal.
Yeah. So Arcana or History.
So it would not be a little courier. It would be
Either or. Either
Okay.
one's fine.
Okay,
Hey,
Arcana.
if he's trying to be discreet.
That is a 27.
Magic.
Damn.
You do recognize this. Hang on. So you do recognize this symbol. This is another powerful mage within the city. This is the current open lord.
Oh, Yelric.
Oh god.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
we're making.
Why does
great
the
connections,
government
guys.
want Corvus to pay taxes? I'm not paying taxes.
you do pay taxes anyway.
Corvus on tax evasion.
I
Literally
don't.
nothing
Corvus
else.
doesn't pay taxes. He doesn't live in the city, and he doesn't.
All
work
right,
with anyone
well.
else. He doesn't need to pay taxes.
Lessla will basically seeing that will rub her eyebrows, or not rub her eyebrows, rub her temple, as she takes a deep breath and says, "Gosh darn it! All right." Klaus, I need you to go after the Raven and tell him there's more to the message.
Klaus looks at you. You
Oh yes, he's been slighted.
you get a message. Gee, are you sure that I can catch him? I don't know.
Oh, he's salty.
He's very salty, and I understand. At which point, Lessla will look at him and say, "Well, if you want that fourth rat, you're going to have to work for it."
I grow tired of rats. What's your offer?
How about clams?
Tempting.
Ooh, how about this? How about a bit of the stalker catfish?
You can see him taking time to consider. If I don't like it, I expect some shrimp.
Yes, we can get some crawfish.
He nods, seeming satisfied, and with that darts out the window and after the much more nimbly than the raven did.
Can we say Sapphire broke off from the group to like go to her brother so she can, do birthday things before getting dragged?
Into a new
Yeah,
quest,
that
yeah.
would be fine.
Okay, cool.
So we will get to that. I'm going to assume everyone is relatively done at the tavern, correct?
I think so.
Corvus, was there anything else that you wanted to do?
Did Corvus leave?
There he is.
Hello?
Hello?
Did you die?
Rupert? Okay,
Oh,
okay,
I heard
good.
something.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
Hello.
There you are.
Sorry
So
about
was
that.
there anything else you wanted to do at the tavern?
I think Corvus is. I think we're probably gonna finish up, see Vale off, like just let him, because he's got places to live. Yeah, so we're not gonna.
He does have a place to stay, yes.
Yeah, so we're not gonna bother him. I think Corvus is just making the arrangement for cheese. Figure out, like, because it's like what, midday.
Pretty much.
I think Corvus is probably gonna go for a lunch, and he's gonna get, because he wants to try some of that catfish. He's gonna have some lunch, and he is more or less inviting cheese with him if she wants to go, or she can go do what she needs to do today.
Okay.
Cheese will go with him.
Well, you will certainly have the chance. However, on your way out is when the Raven is going to find you.
Corvus not realizing the Raven for a second, because why would he? But imagine it flies into our faces like an
It'll fly straight up and land on Cheese's staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say what
Cheese-
you want about it,
Cheese
it's
will-
smart enough to avoid startling Corvus.
Yeah, Cheese
It's coming right
recognizes
at
the
me.
bird and offers her arm to it. Hello, friend. What is it now?
Message from Lessla. Wants you to talk. Wants you to go home. Oh, Laura's up to speed on the
things.
not
On
supposed to
everything.
say.
I understand. Yes.
Nods.
Goodness, Sapphire just left to go with her brother.
And shortly after that is when Clouth catches up to you.
Oh, wonderful! It's a party.
Where's the birthday girl?
Corvus holds out his arm for Cloud.
Clouth lands, and Corvus, you'll get this in your mind. More news, message from the Open Lord. Or you can guess that's what it translates to.
Yeah, like probably shows me the seal. And like
Yeah,
mention-
there was no steel on it. It was blank.
Oh, and on the
The
letter.
symbol.
The symbol on the bottom, the wizard seal, yes.
Yeah, and then big deal, like this,
Yeah.
big deal. Then maybe shows Castle Waterdeep, like this guy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically.
Corvus stops for a minute, like Corvus stares at Cloud for like a long second.
Cloud stares back.
What is it?
Would caution you should.
Nods, get the message back, what Lessla said.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Actually, for the first time in you've known Corvus, he actually seems exasperated. He runs his hand through his hair and everything. The unfazable man is just oh, fuck.
Cheese puts a very gentle hand on his shoulder, does a little pat pat.
Is it urgent or just what?
Doesn't know.
Well, if it's urgent, I'm sure you'll come find her.
I think we should go at least see what's going on. I hate to bother Sapphire, but this is something that I believe she should know.
I've had past couple days. I think we should just leave it a day. If it was urgent, I'm sure Lessla, Miss Silverster would have made it very clear.
Cheese looks very anxious about it. She'll then talk to. She's addressing both the crow and Clouth now. Inform Miss Sapphire, please. She's returned home to her brother. It is a day for her to celebrate. Actually, I have a better idea. Clouth, go inform Sapphire. Raven friend, I want you to inform Lady Lessla that Sapphire has left to take the rest of the day off. And if it is urgent, truly urgent, to come back to us again. Is that understood?
Cloud gives you a nod and heads off. Sorry, I forgot I muted my mic for a second.
We're good. Cheese will send off the crow as well. Is it a crow or is it a raven?
It's a raven.
What?
We keep calling
Yeah.
it a crow, but it's a raven. Because ravens have the ability to speak, and that's the only reason why.
Ravens are bigger and smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what about the raven? Sorry.
Sending the raven back to Lessla, being like, Sapphire is spending the day with her brother as it is her birthday. But if it is truly urgent, then we will come immediately.
The raven nods and takes off.
Cheese looks noticeably more anxious now.
Which just returns the hand on her shoulder. It's probably nothing serious.
I just don't know. I don't know anything about this open lord or whatever, but I know.
Of course, I think at this point, we'll start leading Cheeses off to the side into the grass to sit down.
No. Cheese will gladly sit
Yeah.
in the grass. I don't know anything about this open lord character, but I know that Lady Silverster does not like to be kept waiting.
Well, we're individuals.
And she made no mention that we had to come immediately. Sure, it can wait a day.
She takes a deep breath and like steals her resolve. I will trust you on that.
But you keep coming every time she calls. I don't think she can do whatever she wants. Don't give a dog a treat when it eats your shoes.
That's because it already had a
Rupert,
treat.
you've eventually traveled over into the world of like true Southernisms, which is just flying by the seat of your pants, and it's so good. You already pulled out a Heavens to Betsy, and then you just pulled that out. Holy shit!
I'm waiting for an oh dear
Cheers.
lord while clutching his non-existent pearls.
I think I'm official. I think I just win whenever Corvus says "bless your heart."
Yes.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
See, now you've just given him something to never say.
Mm-hmm.
Damn
It's
you.
it's on my list of Southernisms.
Yay!
Southernisms.
I got a list.
I
There's
mean,
lists online you can get.
I get that. I just love how Southernisms is a term.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, it is. Back to the serious character roleplay.
Yeah.
Cheese just kind of looks solemn. I don't know. I don't know much else than being by her side.
I'm blanking. Corvus would remember because it's been like a month for Corvus. It's been months for me. Has Cheese informed the group that she was alone before Lessla?
In the session that didn't end up getting recorded,
Yeah.
Okay.
she mentioned that she wasn't raised around people. Yes.
Okay. A second. Is
It was whenever we had the braid train.
right. Thanks for a minute on that. This whole being out of your forest thing's new to you.
Very much so, yes.
You've only really had prolonged interaction with one person.
Cheese nods.
Sleep in the same room, you travel with each other for a while, and then you become adventurer alongside her. I can understand the reluctance to leave or go against someone who's, instead of insulting you and demeaning you for nothing else, other than to make themselves feel better about themselves, it's a new sensation. But if you tie yourself to one person, are you really a person yourself? You're more.
Cheese look. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're more than Miss Silverster, and your relationship with Miss Silverster.
Without it, I don't know what I would be. Other than just alone again.
So if she left, wouldn't be friends anymore?
No, not at all.
That's what you just said.
No, that isn't what I meant. I,
He kind of, just gonna check, see what he does. I have brought my character sheet because I haven't needed it. Role playing here.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
no.
Chorus. Oh, what was it? 5. Okay, Chorus kind of just gives like almost like an awkward forearm pat. Um, well, you can be thankful for what she's done so far. And I'm not saying it can't be or you can't be upset if that ends, but well, you know nature. It's changing, yet the same. Things keep going on. Even if she isn't in your life anymore, if that ever happens. It's not like you have to crumble or anything.
it's odd. Having lived your entire life above other beings. And then suddenly somebody looks at you like an equal, above or below other beings. She was the first that ever looked at me like a person, and not like the dirt beneath their feet, or the gods above them. And now there is you, and Sapphire, and Otzelin, and everybody else, and it scares me, if I'm being honest. I don't want to let any of you down.
Heard another roll.
Yeah.
It's the am I going to hug
Shit
you
for a
roll.
second, for a second. Yeah, kind of. It's this is a slightly different one. My life wasn't blessed. I've already mentioned that I'm cursed. And ain't a day gone by where I'm not reminded of it. You know what the first creature look at me like I was anything other than a monster? She looks at the Drake who's just lied down. It was him. I've been told that I bring nothing but bad luck, that staying near me will get you sick or cause you to trip and fall, or even the elves said I didn't feel human to. And when a spiritual creature linked to nature looks at you and sees nothing but a monster, how can you deny the truth of what you are? Then a creature known for its aggression and violence treats you not only as an equal, but with a kindness you've never seen. And then there's you. First thing you did when you saw me was smile. No one does that. I think I understand where you're coming from. But you have to be ready to adapt to change. Otherwise, you'll be crushed by the stagnant weight of expectation. The world is a whirlwind. You can only stand against the changes of it for so long before it wears you down. Better to move with the wind.
Cheese gives him a soft smile. A real genuine one. Because there's Cheese's normal cordial smile, and then there's her genuine ones. And she gives him a big ol' hug.
It's like almost like a little that little grunt of surprise. Um, which is a hand. You know what? I don't think I need to see it for this. I just rolled it out instantly. Actually, yeah, he'll like wrap the arm around, just put it on her back, give her a little squeeze.
Hmm. After a while, Cheese will pull back. And wipe it here.
Out of anybody I've ever spoken to, I do think that I have been the most honest with you. If that makes sense. I feel with the others I must keep up a sense of appearances, but with you, there's an understanding, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that we've been alone for so long.
In genuine, I've simply returned the kindness. The others, how they treat you, or if they're particularly mean, you be very nice to them until they feel bad about it. As my mama used to say, kill people with kindness. There's a lot more good for you.
Mine just said kill them and be done with it.
Your mother.
He mentioned because he didn't realize he seems to almost like have caught himself because he never brings up his family, and then you say his mother, he can almost like go a little still.
Am I allowed to ask about her?
If you must.
I just. What was she like? If you're okay with answering.
He thinks for a minute. She's a kind woman. Helps out the community how she can. A good cook and a good listener. The first bit of my life, I thought she was the closest thing I had to a friend. But she was a coward.
She's cocks her head at that.
Is this to do with what we saw?
I think that was the first time.
I'm sorry.
You've died, right?
She's a little bit taken aback by that, but she nods.
That day I could have. Oh, her oldest son sat there, barely conscious, holding on to what little he could to keep his dignity, bleeding and almost losing his damn eye. And she did nothing. And you see a viciousness that Corvus never displays, even when he's fighting, Corvus has this just look of reservation. Like he's almost sorry he has to kill someone. You almost feel like, I imagine you almost feel like for the first time actual annoyance from Corvus. Then he just moves his head and rolls his shoulders. He composes himself. the end of the day, it's not important. I live my life and she lives hers.
Do you ever think you'll go and see her again?
I used to. Every year, I would leave something for them for midwinter. I haven't done that for a couple of years now.
I wish there was something I could say to make it better.
It's fine. I don't hate it if that's what you're worried about.
It is.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you ahead.
It is just something I do not understand. The love or hatred or indifference of a parent.
Suppose it comes down to a question. Is it better to be alone? Or is it better to be surrounded by people but feel alone?
Is that not us?
I thought you were more isolated, but I'm unsure.
Hmm.
Well, what about yourself? You mentioned Faye raised you.
Raised, I don't think is the right word. It was more like priests tending an altar. Or gardeners tending to their plant. Only adding or subtracting things whenever I grew wild. It wasn't. I taught myself to do everything. They didn't view me as a friend or anything close. I was their charge, I think. Not quite sure. Eventually I grew, and it was a mutual understanding that I protected them, and occasionally they would help me. It was nothing close. The only thing I ever felt close to was the moon, and, well, I haven't really had much of a chance to do much with that recently. I taught myself magic. I I think that's the thing I'm the most proud of. But I'd never had a family or anybody. There were the occasional wanderers in the forest, but they would look at me in disgust and move on. There isn't much to tell. I don't think I even remember any of the pixies' names.
Yeah, of course, just pulls cheese into a hut.
Oh, Hugtown! Cheese returns it. Genuinely, this group is the first time I've ever really known people. And it's odd. I don't know, I can see so much. I don't know how to feel about it. And
I think I understand. Yeah. It's let's just go get some lunch and then we can leave this city and go for a bit of a walk.
That would be most welcome.
And Forth will listen to Hug and stand, and then give his hand down to Cheese.
Cheese will gladly take it.
Yeah, he helps her to her feet.
Does this make Corvus and Cheese date number 2? Because the first
For
one
the
was
two of you
whenever
to
we went to the
decide.
pet shop.
That's up for you all to decide. I'm not getting involved.
um, yeah, we'll just go to that the tavern inn, like it's an inn, tavern and inn.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can get Cheese. If Cheese gets the discount as well, or is it just me solely? I don't know. He wasn't very clear. And the wording was, "You get a discount." And as a person who pays attention to wording, that could mean you singular or you plural.
Cheese
Hmm.
also looks like a disheveled mess right now.
Yeah. I'm
Look who you're with.
I'm thinking.
It's a dwarf.
Yeah, it's a dwarf. But yeah, he'll give it to you both.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Does he have us like sit away from everybody else? Because from
No,
my
he doesn't
understanding, this
seem
place was a pretty nice restaurant.
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to mind. But Corvus, you go ahead and roll a very easy perception check.
Okay. Watch this fail, everyone. Boom.
That's enough.
Hey.
You'll notice it.
Yeah.
Cheese, you'll also kind of notice out of the corner of your eye. At one point, when he thinks your back is turned, he points to you, gestures to Corvus, gives Corvus a thumbs up and a wink.
Cheese, after a minute, will lean over to Corbin.
What did he mean by that?
I'm unsure.
I see.
Maybe he just meant I think it was meant to be a compliment.
Odd way of complimenting somebody.
You know, some people it's I've seen it done in taverns before. I'm not sure what it means though.
Cheese just shrugs.
Yeah. Also, of course, also orders a hunk of meat. Or just points to the thing that the drake that's forced to wait outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause he's not allowed in.
Yeah, yeah, the waitress at the bar, or well, she'll oblige.
Yeah.
But as that's going on, I'm gonna cut away for a little bit because we've had a lot of Corvus and cheese. I want to give
Yeah,
everyone else
very
some time
sorry.
too.
Very
No,
Yeah,
don't
sorry.
be. Don't be. It's been great. I think everyone else agrees too.
Bah
But I
humbug.
also can't in good conscience run a session for 2 out of 4 players. Anyway. Sapphire. You're heading over to
It's still
Jasper's.
BRB. We haven't got back yet.
Oh, yes, you're correct. I missed that.
Yes.
In that case, Lessla,
Yep.
the crow is going to arrive back and translate what was said to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that does give us time, and I look. Leslie looks to both Zarfea and Laura.
Lara has calmed down a lot more now. Zarfea is still Zarfea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. And just to be clear, this was like an invitation to the estate, right? Or was it not?
For Farshine, no.
Yeah. Okay. It's not. So it's everyone gathered together, and then I imagine.
He'd contact us through the stone.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he said.
I guess I'm gonna identify the stone to see if it's a sending stone or not.
It is in fact not. There are no spells you can identify on it.
Huh?
Then again, you do remember that he is a mind mage, as some would call it. So, the magic that he does doesn't always show up, which is part of the reason he's so tough.
All right. All right. Oh God. Well, I am. What was like Lars and Orpheus' reaction to this?
Laura is I mean, Laura's still the same. She's still calmed down at this point, but she's not sure what to think.
Mm-hmm.
As for Zarfea, Zarfea seems relatively unfazed. Again, you know that politics and such isn't really her thing, so...
Yeah.
She's technically from Waterdeep, but not from Waterdeep.
Yeah. She's from the nation, not the town.
Essentially.
All right. Leslie just takes a deep breath and says, well... Then she thinks about what was said, and then she looks to Laura and Zarfea, both of them, and says, what in the 7 hells is a birthday?
9 hells.
9 hells. Sorry, I was thinking of Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, no,
What?
that's fine.
What's in the 9...
We ignore the first 2.
Oh, you go with the first 2. What's in the 9 hells is a
Dante's
birthday?
Inferno does have 9 layers.
It's one for every sin,
Yeah.
I think.
There's also Purgatory, which is
There's
technically an 8th level.
Which is technically the first level.
Yeah.
Lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, heresy, violence, fraud, treachery. That's 9.
Oh,
Technically 10.
because they added
Stinky.
They added other things that weren't actually the part of the 7 deadly sins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway.
9. What's in the 9 hells is a birthday.
They both, surprised, look over at you like, what did you just say?
Am I missing something?
So Laura, after a moment, snaps herself out of it. You've never had a birthday.
No, never. What is a birthday?
It's to celebrate the day you were born. It, your family never did that? Ever?
When she asks that, there's more of a pained expression that flashed across Lesla's face as she once again remembers the memory. And then she says no. I've never even heard of a birthday.
Do you not know you were born, or?
Does that particularly matter?
Uh, Faye actually looks kind of mad, but not necessarily at you.
I don't know what this birthday is. No, I don't know the exact day in which I was born. It's not important. At least it wasn't to me. I spent all my time after I started learning magic locked away in a tower. Effectively. Is not knowing the day of my birth bad?
Laura starts to say something, but is interrupted as Zarfe actually storms out of the room. It's not normal. Laura seems just as confused by both Zarfea's reaction and yours. Not really sure what's going on here at all.
Lessla will say this before she goes after Zarfea, because Zarfea storming out of a room is never a good thing. She'll say, the quantification of normal is not something that really applies to any of us now, is it? Anyway, please watch.
Well,
please watch the dragon. I'm going to make sure Zarfea doesn't kill someone. And I will look at the crow and say, don't do anything that could possibly draw any attention. Please. And then she goes out. And she's...
What can I do?
Please, give me ideas.
No, it's just like Jenny will ask you, like, how can I draw attention?
I know.
Completely oblivious to the fact that it is, in fact, a talking crow.
Well, raven. It's a raven. We keep calling it a crow. It is a raven. Ravens can talk.
Yes. Not
just
this well in Sylvan.
Not that well in Sylvan. Man, it's going to be really funny when Lara looks at the crow and says, so how well do you speak Sylvan? And it just gives an entire diatribe on the entire language. But chasing after Zarfea.
The Raven's actually a linguistics coach for all of the other Fey Ravens.
So, you head out the room after Zarfea, who has already descended the stairs, as you do.
Yep. Lessla, not one to shout, will just keep following behind her and look. And when she gets close enough that she can talk in a normal voice, she says, Zarfea, where are you going?
She stops and turns around to meet your gaze.
I guess, can I insight check her?
No, she's about to speak. She just takes a minute.
Okay.
You know that in spite of where I grew up and not knowing who my parents actually were, in spite of how rough we might have had it, there was one day that meant something, that made things feel normal. If you don't know when it was for you, then it's today.
Aw.
I don't. Lessla takes a deep breath as she tries to. She's trying to figure things out because she's like genuinely confused at this point. I don't understand. What? Explain it to me, please. Why is a birthday so important?
Because it's a day that gets to be about you because people care about you.
Lessla thinks about that and says, well, if that is the case, well, it's not surprising that I don't know my birthday then.
It's the one day where people get to care about you and celebrate you without any backlash for it, no matter what. And if you
Lessla,
don't know when that is, then it's today.
Sapphire, you saw my memory. As much as I wish you didn't. As much
And
as
you saw mine.
Yes, I did. Do you want to know what happened after that? After my eldest brother nearly beat me to death and, for some reason, chose to leave me alive.
She waits for you to continue.
Nothing. Nothing happened. No reprimands, no chastisement, no scoldings. They brought a cleric in to heal my arm, and everything went just like nothing had happened. So, I understand that maybe to you,
No, I don't think you do. People that care about me, bad things happen to them. Always have. People judge them for it, because I'm different. I always have been. But that was one day where nobody cared, or at least tried to hide if they did. If you think it's important or not, that doesn't matter. It's important regardless of what you think.
Lessla just once again in front of Zarfe, because Zarfe is like the one person that she drops her personal mask in front of a lot. Just drops her mask and she doesn't try and recompose herself, and she just looks tired. I'm somewhat exhausted by people telling me what is the way the world works. And I honestly don't have the energy to fight it anymore. So I will trust that you understand what you are talking about, and I will just go along with you. Because I don't have the capacity to change your mind.
Then you can wait at home, and I'll be back.
Alright. Just don't kill anyone.
I don't plan to get arrested.
Well, I don't think anyone ever plans to be arrested. Well, that's not true.
I know every time I leave my house, I plan to get arrested.
I don't. I plan on getting away with what I do.
No, it's funnier whenever the news finds out.
If they find out.
No.
No witnesses.
Lessla will just nod and say, well, just be safe then.
She nods and returns to her very determined person on a mission log.
Mm-hmm. Lessla will return to the room.
And as this is not what I planned, I have to figure out what Zarfea can do with 15 gold.
Nice.
15 gold's a lot, actually.
It is. But anyway, with that being out of the way, we're gonna cut over to Sapphire,
Yes.
who's head over to Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
You know that at this point in the day, the shop is starting to close.
Mm-hmm. So if it's
Probably
starting to close, I will meet
Probably
him.
by the time you get there, it would close.
Yeah.
Probably
So,
be around like 5 or so.
yeah. So we could just, walk home together then.
It might be better to just meet him at home.
Yeah, alright. Give Sapphire time to kind of like haphazardly wrap the present. I've got 2 minutes!
That's how I feel around Christmas time.
Right.
Like, shit, why'd I put this off?
I know I just got home, but like I should not have gone to the bar. I should have just gone straight here. Damn it.
Start making your way home. No, there's nothing really of note that happens. You head home, you get there, you unlock the door. And unlike the last time this happened, you do actually hear the sound of noise inside. Both Jasper and a more high-pitched, more feminine voice as well seem to be having a pretty good time.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Sapphire just kind of
Not
sighed.
not that, not the,
Okay,
not that,
okay.
not this time.
Okay.
Not this time.
Okay, you gotta specify because like
I'm aware. I'm aware.
last time I didn't hear them.
No, this is banter.
Okay. Well, I get to meet his girlfriend now. Let's go. Oh, I hope she's prepared for me. That's fine. But she will, open the door, hearing that she will call out, "I'm home."
There is some there for you.
Sapphire has her gift for him behind her back. I can talk, I promise.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't.
I try.
Anyway.
Sorry I didn't have the chance to wrap it. But I do have something for you.
I know that you've been busy.
Yeah,
So I can forgive it this time.
thank you. And she will hold out the amulet for him.
And he will, in turn, give you the small box.
As Sapphire is unwrapping it, she will explain what she knows about that amulet to him. And that it's a very powerful ward against scrying.
He nods a few times.
You didn't understand any of what I just said, did you?
I understood a little bit.
Keeps people from magically spying on you.
He nods so you can understand a little bit more.
And it's powerful at that. And she finally opens the present.
So inside is a pair of very diligently crafted earrings.
Ooh.
They are, of course, sapphires.
Yeah.
They're tied up in, they're carved to look like teardrops. They're not very expensive sapphires, you can tell that.
Fine.
But,
That's fine.
and they are wound up in gold wire to suspend from the ears. Definitely not something you necessarily want to wear on the road, but very stylish.
She is immediately going to try and put them in. Ignore the fact that she doesn't have her ears pierced. She does now for magic reasons.
As a jeweler,
Obvious.
he's definitely tested shit out on her before. There's no way that she's gone this
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. And let's face it, if she makes earrings, it's like, here, try it on me. How does it look?
It's like being
You know
friends
how
with a tattoo
expen-
artist. Like,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
know
way
how
you live your
expensive-
entire life
You know how
not being a
expensive
canvas.
models are? Fuck
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Fucking-
That or they're like the clip earrings that kind of like hook onto the ear.
Not for magnets, yeah.
Well, less magnets and more like you see in anime, how they kind of like hook. Like Frieren.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. But after she puts them in, she hugs. They're beautiful, thank you.
Well, I can't have a jeweler's sister going around with something subpar. Kind of makes me look bad.
Oh, please. Then again, thank you. I'm not going to say no to it. As long as I'm not traveling, I'll be wearing them. Don't worry.
And after a few seconds, there you can definitely hear someone in the other room, not quite coming in, but they're definitely there.
Yeah. So, are you going to introduce me, or is it still too soon for me to meet her?
Oh, right. And he turns around and leads you into the main room. And staying there is a
She's gotten back into dating. Probably on my mute. I'm sorry.
She looks to be roughly about the same age as Jessa, Felvin woman. Seems a bit more tan than most people you see around here. We
Throw it in the Discord. Now, at least.
Now, everyone will wait to see this. But for now,
Oh.
Interrogation in.
and she gives you a
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
Okay.
every body.
Look,
Mhm.
she fucking 180 that real quick. She didn't see shit. You- Knowing Jasper, they're probably all bad. Out of character, I haven't gotten her name yet.
She did.
That's not.
It's a little odd. No idea.
Could ask.
You could.
Sapphire is gonna sit down.
Jasper goes to get you something to drink.
Appreciate that.
A little bit nervous of doing so.
Leaving me alone with her. Like, all right, what's the tea?
Yeah, but she waves him off that he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem happy about it, but he does go and do it.
The girl talk, the gossip. Let's go.
So, Jasper tells me that you are an adventurer.
That I am.
That must be exciting.
That's a word for it, yeah. A bit risky at times, but I think it's worth it. What about you?
I am new to the city for several months now.
Might I ask where from?
Somewhere very far from here. I'm not certain you would have heard of it.
Sapphire kind of shrugs. Well, the library might have a book on the place, so I could learn a bit more about it.
It's a small town out in the Hornlands. There is very little out there.
Sapphire kind of nods because that's understandable. But I got small town in the mountain. Let's go.
So the Hornlands are very, very far from here.
Oh, did she say Hordelands or I heard mountains?
She did
The
say
Hornlands.
Hornlands.
Okay, you cut out for.
So the Hornlands are out past even Mokum or Mokum.
So
Way,
not
way far.
on any of the maps I've got. Got it.
No, they are the edge of Faerun itself.
Ah. Fun. Wanted the excitement of a big city?
I wanted the lack of excitement that comes from my home. It is called the Hornlands for a reason.
Yeah, different kind of excitement then. Probably much tamer in your standards.
She nods. Jasper was very much correct about you.
Did she say corrective?
Correct about.
Sapphire kind of glances at where her brother should be. What did he say?
That you were intimidating to most.
Sapphire just nods slowly, like, yep, that. Knowing him, that was probably the first thing he warned you about.
She nods.
I get that a lot.
I will have to get used to it, but you seem very nice.
Thank you. I'm sure the more we hang out, the more you'll get used to it. Though knowing my job, I'm probably going to be traveling a lot.
Well, I hope to hang out when we have the chance.
Oh, undoubtedly. I haven't really had the chance to hear some good gossip of late, so.
I am not one to talk about such things. And on that, I want you to roll me a insight check.
Alright. Where is it? There it is. Fuck. It was not a good roll.
You can tell that line of questioning makes her a little bit nervous.
Okay.
Beyond that,
Well,
not
I'm
really
sure we
sure.
could talk about other things like fashion and such.
I haven't gotten accustomed to most of the local fashion. I'm afraid my taste would be very different.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Perhaps once I have a better handle on the local attire, then maybe I can provide better conversation about it.
I also wouldn't mind hearing about the fashion in your land. Or Fordland.
It is very much a lack of it.
Sapphire's
All
mind just kind of
naked.
flashes to cheese. Like, yeah, that, yeah. Like,
All
not
naked.
because of, like, Hordelands, but because cheese does not like clothes, and Sapphire has come to understand this. Yeah. Well, hopefully you're getting accustomed to the culture here just fine. Hopefully Jasper is helping you with that.
He has done very well to help me, yes.
So how'd you two meet?
I came into the shop one day, and he and I began to talk, and I found him rather charming.
Sapphire nods because that is a very appropriate. He is the social one of the two of them.
Well, I gradually had to come in more and more often. It was my position at the time. And sorry if you can hear that. The dog is
Yeah.
in something. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Jasper is teaching her the culture well, from what we've seen.
Your very intimate lessons.
Okay.
I
Okay,
Hi,
sorry, that
Shadow.
will.
Hi, Shadow.
I thought I had
I
more
heard every
time.
bit of that. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
okay. I thought I had more time.
Don't act innocent with me.
Oh, we know we're not
Even if I
innocent.
hadn't heard it, I know you weren't.
Just so acknowledge everyone else who doesn't have the context. Shadow hates when I make those kind of jokes, and so I try to avoid it because he's god of this world.
Yes, but
I don't mind. I don't mind them. I just know exactly what you do.
Last time you kicked me from the call.
That was a joke.
To be fair, Rec was the one that started it.
I did. I'm always
I'm
the one that
aware.
starts it. I'm always the one that starts it. Rupert just goes
Exactly.
worse.
Even if I had not heard him start it, I would know that he started it.
Would you
Rupert
believe me if
doesn't
I said
start
I
this.
had no
Rupert never
comment?
starts those comments. He only finishes them.
I do
Anyway.
start them, but only if it's implied.
Exactly. You don't start them. You finish them.
Just like she finishes Jasper. Ayo. You walked
Anyway.
into that one. You walked into that
Yes, I am aware. Doesn't mean I'm any less happy about it. Anyway.
one. Oh, he's happy about it.
Where were we?
Their first meeting and how she's been, you know.
It was the position.
Her position was forcing her to come back to the shop, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Your
And
position?
I was in charge of unloading some wares,
Oh.
and he happened to offer good prices.
Yeah.
And I may have made the decision for some other reasons.
Sapphire's just smiling. Well,
But
we won't
that
start down
is...
business.
Oh, well, you will not have to. That is no longer my position.
Oh?
I have found a job in the city. I plan to stay here for some time at least.
That's good. So what do you do now? Sapphire's just secretly hoping she's working in the shop too.
Your Jasper did not tell you?
Well, no, he hasn't.
I would have thought he would have talked to you about it at least.
Well, I kind of came home recently and then was kind of not at home for a few days doing another quest, and then another quest happened. So I haven't exactly been around for him to tell me.
Well, he offered me a position to help out since you are going to be away more often. I'm very sorry. I thought he would have told you
Oh
about.
no, no, that's fine. That's fine. This is. I'm trying to remember if I've seen him since.
It's been a few days.
Missing child. Yeah, I don't think I saw him since the missing child.
Brief. No, you did. We had when we got.
Oh yeah, it was
yeah,
very...
there
It
was
was very higher by you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because Corvus was, spending the night. Okay, yeah, it was too late to talk.
Mhm.
Yeah, last time I was around last time I was home, it was already late and he was getting ready for bed.
Well, he did only offer me the position today.
I have not been home until this moment, so I would have no way of knowing that. So don't feel bad about him not telling me.
I see. She seems a bit more relieved at that.
Hmm.
But I believe I will be around you all more often, so I look forward to getting to know you.
And I look forward to working with you too. Should be fun.
I hope so. I am less knowledgeable about making jewelry and more about appraising it.
That's more than okay. And if you have any possible ideas for any type of jewelry, like design-wise, let me know. I'd rather
I
him into the
would
jeweler's kit and take
not
on the
know
road.
how. I would not know how to design it. I
I mean,
can simply tell if it is real.
a simple description should work. I can make an idea from that and make a rough sketch.
I'm afraid you will find me very uninspiring for that.
Oh, I'm sure you'll think of something at some point. You might see something that, might words. That might catch your fancy and you want something similar to that. Maybe with a different gem or band style.
Mm, perhaps someday. Perhaps I will find such inspiration at your shop.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did. We have quite the array of selections.
Although I may be somewhat biased.
Nothing wrong with that.
And she does kind of reach up and just absentmindedly tug at a little necklace on her neck. You
Oh,
definitely recognize Jasper's handiwork.
yeah. Sapphire's just grinning. Like, in her mind, like, that's, like, so adorable, but she's not gonna say that out loud.
Hmm.
Jasper's got it hard.
Either Jasper is waiting outside the room and can't get in, or he is like having trouble finding.
He's terrified to enter.
He's drinking a full keg before he walks in, so he's ready.
Yeah, no, it's about at this point that he does come back in with something to drink and a little bit of bread and some basic cheese. The bread's only a little bit stale.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good. I had to steal
Yeah.
that.
And the cheese is only slightly old, but it's the good kind of old. This one can keep for a
Yeah.
bit.
It's well aged.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
That's
waiting
specifically
for
why you
Cloud.
bought this one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Cloud to fucking fly into the window and be
Mhm.
like, hey, let me in.
I'm sorry I kept you for so long. Saf, here you are. And Kay, some more food if you're interested. He's very nervously looking between you and her, mostly at you.
I give him a pat on the back. I'm glad to see you're not running the shop alone anymore. Now that I'm traveling more.
Oh, Kay told you about that.
Yes. I was asking her what her profession was, so it just makes sense.
You really should inform your sister before you make such a request of me. It's perhaps a little inconsiderate to her. I guess it was. He gives you a side-eye glare.
Sapphire is just grinning at him. Oh, I'm sure he'll make it up to me eventually. But I am okay with this arrangement. Can't have
And
you
it is
moving
at
around the
that
clock.
point you hear something tapping on the window.
Oh,
And the three of us all look over.
There is
And
a cloud.
Sapphire sighs, seeing its cloud. Oh wait, hang on. I imagine Sapphire's about to ask
Reeves
about
on the
Prince.
window. Reeves on the window. Let me in.
Sapphire was probably
He's
about
just
to
taking
ask
his tail
about.
and tapping it.
Yeah, I was about to ask about Prince, and then that happens. It's like, you can tell me what is going on with Prince after I deal with that. And she will
Prince never
open
got
the
here.
window.
You
Attacked
mentioned
by
Prince,
Beetle.
and they both get this collective look on their face.
Define collective look.
Like, oh gods.
Oh, that's where it came from.
I sent them a note with Prince.
No, you did. You're correct. You have to remember the personality of the cat that you sent them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, Corvus didn't want him anymore. So, like,
I was going to return him where you'd be happy and safe.
yeah, it's fine. Opening the window.
Klaus relays to you that there is a message from the current open lord that Lessla has for everyone.
I want to say Sapphire almost drops Klaus because I imagine she picked him up, but he just clings to her arm. It's like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that.
Like
for me.
you almost drop him. His claws dig into your arm a little bit, and you
Love
snap
how
back to it.
I love how everyone treats Klaus like a fucking cat. Hey, buddy.
He acts like it.
Well, I mean, that's pseudo dragons in general.
Look, it's more like he slipped out of her hand because she didn't like her grip loosened a bit. It's like, okay, I deserve that. Can you repeat for me?
Looks very pointedly at you. This time the images are much slower. Lessla, message to Waterdeep Castle. Symbol.
Okay, that's what. Okay. Oh, and she's just rubbing her temple, and it's just like very quietly in Thieves' Cant. There's Blackstaff now. This okay. Why am I the one getting in these
What
social
is that in
situations?
Thieves' Cant?
Again, thieves
Don't
can't.
question it.
Thieves can't is
Gibberish.
not an actual language.
It's not.
It's coded language. What's the code for?
So it sounds to anyone else like Sapphire's mumbling off some Starbucks order to a barista.
First the
Remember
black
watching Gus-
coffee. Now this.
First black coffee, now fucking.
But if I recall correctly, you agreed that it was okay if I had taught Jasper Thieves' Cant.
Yeah,
So
no, that's fine.
He's probably like hearing me mumble that and choking on his drink.
No, he's not really paying attention to you and the pseudo dragon.
Okay. Okay, so Sapphire's just like, okay. Were you told was I supposed to do anything with this information other than know it, or are we supposed to meet with them?
Come if
Sapphire's
you want.
processing.
Lessla said, "Come if you want." Lessla said yes. Corvus said, "Shrug."
And what about Cheese?
Shrug.
And Vale? I imagine another shrug. Or does he
This is
realize he has to go to Vale now and tell him about this?
Yeah, this is where Klaus does realize he forgot somebody.
Okay.
Have to be going. Forgot somebody. Be back soon.
At least find
And
out if I need
he takes off again.
as I'm saying, at least let me know, like, find out if I need to. And he's gone. Okay. Okay, Sapphire. We'll leave the window slightly ajar for Klaus to come back in when he gets back, if he gets back.
And that's
she's gonna
how
sit
Prince
down
left.
and take a long swig of her drink, which I assume is at least a little bit alcoholic.
He did not bring that out.
That's fine. She's still taking a large sip.
You get the
regardless.
feeling Jasper might have thought giving his sister and girlfriend alcohol in the same household may have been a bad idea.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Probably.
Okay. Right. Anyway, Prince. Sapphire is still clearly processing what she has just been told.
Jasper raises an eyebrow at you, noticing that you're very clearly off, but doesn't say anything. Letting you continue the thought.
Prince, how's he doing? I'm sorry, I kind of sprung him on you guys. Corvus was gonna return it.
It's Kay who speaks instead of Jasper. The Chesson is doing well, but he is not very good at catching mice.
All right. Corvus was the one that got him, I think. So if it doesn't work out, let me know and I'll get Corvus to. Well,
The patrons are actually quite fond of him, actually.
so it's bringing in more business in a way.
She kind of.
We're looking at Jasper at that because he would know.
Yeah. So while she's kind of like fumbling, like, yeah, Jasper's just shaking his head, like, no.
Is he chasing customers away?
He's not doing that, but the people who come in to say hi to him don't usually buy anything.
Sapphire's just nodding. Well, I'll leave the decision up to you both since you're going to be primarily running the shop while I'm away.
Ever.
Just let me know if you want Corvus to take him back.
I don't think that would be necessary, but
All right.
it would be nice if he did something more than sit on a pillow.
Who knows? Maybe you can use him as a little bit of a model for little tiaras. Or I'm sorry,
The
little
two
crowns.
the two of them share a look, but don't say anything.
I'm gonna roll insight on that. I want to be
Okay.
in the know. Nope. Sapphire's still processing the fact that the Open Lord wants to meet with her.
I enjoy the fact that you're actually quite good at insight. You just roll horribly whenever you have to do it.
It's kind of annoying. Right. Glad to hear he doesn't need to be returned, though. So there's that. If all else fails, we could always bribe Klaus with the rats down. Sapphire's just gonna take another sip as she's slowly calming down from her processing. Like, okay, no context other than that. Okay. Oh, Jasper. If
yes?
I don't get dragged into another quest tomorrow, the last one I was on was given to us by an apprentice of Elminster.
How do you tell him everything? You can't even think his heart stop. Kill the man.
Well, maybe he doesn't know who Elminster is.
He does.
No, he does. Yeah, from the reaction you get from that, he definitely knows who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in Waterdeep know who that is.
Mm-hmm. And she said if we ever need anything from her, for us to just go to her and, And I figured someone as more than likely well-traveled as her, she might, I don't want to say anything because I don't know how much in the know Kay is, but like, the
Is that
thing we've been
exactly
trying
what
to
you
find.
say?
You mean what I just said minus the like how in
Yes.
the know? Yeah.
I don't know how she is.
Okay, so you don't mention the how and the no K is. Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
what I
part was
needed to
sorry.
know.
No. That part was out of character. That's my bad. I'm trying to be kind of vague, but still let Jasper like hopefully understand
He
what I'm getting
nods.
at with like what we're trying to figure out.
He nods.
If I'm not too busy tomorrow, would you like to come with me to see her if she's in? Or do you want me to go and
I
then tell you if she knows any?
may already have plans for tomorrow.
Got it. I'll let you know if she knows anything. Because I'm just kind of, I just assume he has a date.
That would be much appreciated.
Yeah.
The people you meet.
You have no. She says this as she's taking another sip, wishing this was alcoholic. You have no idea.
Whatever you do, don't mention the dragon.
I'm not gonna mention.
But unless there's anything else for you, I think that might be where we call it for tonight.
I mean, if he wants to ask why I'm reacting like that.
Technically have an errand Corvus could run, if that's something you want to do.
Sure, we can take care of that.
After lunch and all, which I will need a price for. You can come up with that after the fact.
The price for it will be for both of you will be 5 gold.
And the meat.
Oh
and
yeah, no, I'm including that.
Okay, gotcha. 5 gold. Jesus.
These will insist on splitting it.
Nope, Corvus is a bit like he offered to take you.
Well,
to
keep in
lunch.
mind that's a chunk
you.
of just straight up meat for the Drake.
Yeah, the whole splitting.
Plus drinks, plus the exotic meat.
Yeah.
And this is a slightly more upscale restaurant.
Yeah, no, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most expensive thing Corvus ever meal. Corvus ever.
But what is the errand Corvus wishes to run, and
Sure,
is Cheese
so-
going to accompany him?
Oh, they'll spend the rest of the day together. They leave Waterdeep, and he's just going to. He might know this just off the bat, or he might not. Look for a temple to Myliki.
Okay.
Well, a shrine or like a place. If not a proper temple.
So there aren't really any proper temples to her.
Yeah, I know.
In Waterdeep, there are like personal shrines. If you want to find an actual shrine to her, it's kind of sacrilege to do it in the city.
That's why I went outside.
Yeah.
So we're outside the city.
So there are more minor shrines that you can find by just asking around. But like I said, they're more personal things than actual temples and clergy.
Is there a shrine to her that is like more public use than just?
There is a larger one, yes.
Yeah, he'll go to that one then.
It's occasionally tended to by druids.
Okay, yeah. He'll go there, and if Cheese wants to go there, if not, he'll just take
Cheese
us
will
to the
join
camp.
him.
Okay, I go to the little shrine.
It's a pretty basic shrine. It's a tree, and there's a small wood carving next to it that seems to have been very, very well preserved. That does depict the goddess.
Yes.
And there are a few small offerings, particularly of food and other such things. No meat.
No meat. Interesting.
There's a lot of breads and such, and fruits.
It is interesting. there's no meat here.
Yeah, there's a few jams as well.
Okay, very nice. Wolf doesn't have any of that. But he will kind of like you'll gaze at it for a second. In that he'll take a breath, and that way he does, and he'll step into the area and sort of lower himself down. And he's going to offer a prayer to her. He knows it's hard for her. She doesn't always hear the prayers, so he also invoked a bit of the name of that. I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head. But he's like the
Sylvanas?
god. He's like the god of hunting. He's like he said you pray to him and he can deliver the prayer to her. So he offers it to both of them essentially.
I see.
Mm.
I have to
I
remember
can't
that
remember
as
his name
well.
off the top of my head.
I'm looking.
But he basically because something has been sitting weird with Corvus. It was when he was training with.
Is it Uller?
No, it's like
Uller.
it's like two names, like something Windstride or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can look it up if we need to know it, but I was trying to just do it quickly. And when he was doing that,
Sorry.
when he was doing that, he remembers he did like a little prayer to Maliki, and like something manifested, and he touched it, and it gave him some temporary power. And then the thing in the Temple of Selune where he mentioned, oh yeah, no one receives visions directly all the time, so when you do, it's a very important thing. Of course, it's just sort of inquiring, like, were you actually responding to me? Is there something I'm needed for? But it's and then just it's a prayer of uncertainty and just wanting to know, and maybe a potential offering of his services since he is a forest dweller himself.
Mm-hmm. And just to refresh my memory, this is in regards to.
Well, he's always been a little bit of a worshipper of her, but it's
Mm-hmm.
when he was they're doing the training with I think it's Zolas. He did a little
Yes.
prayer
Okay.
to Maliki, and like Tevas form. Then in the Temple of Selune, the guy mentioned it's very rarely you receive visions from a god. You should maybe like follow up on that. So that's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially.
Okay. You don't get a response, at least not right now, but from what you've heard, that would be very unusual if you did.
Yeah.
But I do want you to roll me a d20.
All right, natural one. Everybody ready? Place your
Yippee!
Nat 20, let's go. Come on.
bets. Nat 20. 7. 10.
Okay.
Not a
Yeah.
one.
You
Almost a one. You squint.
Yeah. You make your prayer, and like I said, you don't feel anything. There's a soft wind rustling through, just as there was before. A small little like chipmunk or other similar tree rodent scurries down and does snack on some of one of the open jars of jam. Which you get the feeling is kind of supposed to happen.
Yeah. No. It's given back to nature.
Mm-hmm.
After a little longer, he'll just stand back up and turn around and return to Cheese and Rick. And it's just like, well, suppose I should show you where we'll be sleeping tonight.
That'd be lovely.
And he'll take her to his.
Go for it.
No, go ahead.
It's something that I do want to mention about Cheese. She stays like far She stays quite a few feet back from Corvus as he's praying. She doesn't really want to get near the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah. Just take her back to Corvus' little camp. After, of course, walking around for a bit,
Yeah.
we waste until it's time to actually rest.
But at that point, I do think that is where we'll call it for tonight.
Mhm.
All right. So, how are we going to deal with what Zarfe is doing? Is that just going to be text RP, or we're just going to deal with that next week?
I need some time to think about that, so that is probably going to be next session.
All right.
And if we
Okay.
wanted, we could have time for text RP just for the night.
Yeah, no, you guys would definitely have some time for text RP.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yippee!
I might or might not sure.
I am currently looking for potential earring Labrador.
All right. And with that, we will call it here for today. As always, for those of you who joined us, please have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are, and remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the near future. And if you support the channel or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.